the internet right now is kind of in a divide about Shedeur's performance, so I'm kind of really excited to hear what you guys have to say. So, Cody, I'm going to start with you. I love your quarterback analysis, so give him a letter grade.
I'm not going to give him a letter grade, actually.
Oh.
Because I think it would be unfair to put a letter grade on any individual in this game. Because let's start with what happened going into this game, right? The Browns offense, not just Shedeur, the offense is already at a disadvantage going into this game. Why? Because, and these aren't excuses, these are facts. I want to put this out there because I've been a rookie quarterback playing for Cleveland in this exact situation, dealing with injuries, and you're back up against the wall and in a tough situation. So this is from experience. But they go into that game without 3 starting offensive linemen. On top of that, they lose a 4th starting offensive lineman. Their right guard, Jenkins, goes out during the game, who's already filling in for Wyatt Teller.
Yep.
So they're out 4 offensive line in that game. You're also out David Njoku, who is a premier pass catcher on that offense. I know Fannin has stepped up, you got Jerry Jeudy, but David Njoku is a difference maker. I played with Njoku when he was a young rookie in Cleveland. He is an athlete. He's a big-time player on that team. Yep. But looking back at the offensive line, what happens when your offensive line is injured like that? 1, you can't protect, but 2, you can't run the football. And what is a young quarterback's best friend? The run game. The Browns ran the ball for 50 yards yesterday, and 24 of those, Skip, were Shedeur's 2 scrambles. So let's take that out of that. They had 26 rushing yards on 14 carries as an offense. That's 1.8 yards per attempt. I don't care who you are at quarterback. Against that talented of a football team like Chicago is, you're not going to win the game running the ball for 26 yards and having to force your quarterback to make continuous 3rd down conversions over and over and over. That is a difficult spot to be in. You have to be able to run the football. Stefanski, Tommy Reese, they've got to come up with a better run game plan, especially on early down and distances to put you in an advantageous situation on 3rd down. That's one thing. The other thing, too, with this is that, and look, I'll say this. Were there some negative things that happened for Shedeur in this game? Absolutely. I'm not going to run from that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He'll tell you the same thing. He'll look you in the face and say, I didn't play good enough. But there also are a lot of positives that have happened over these first 4 starts. And there were some positives yesterday as well. And you can't, as a young quarterback, and I fell victim to this, but you can't, as a young quarterback, let these losses and these bad throws and some of these bad performances overshadow some of the positives that you are doing as a rookie quarterback. Because if you do that, you lose your confidence in yourself, but you also lose your confidence in your ability to succeed in the NFL. And you guys know, once you lose your confidence, it is extremely difficult, especially as a quarterback in a media market like Cleveland, to gain that back. But I don't think he's done that yet. I feel confident that he still has belief in himself. He knows that he can get to where he needs to be. The other thing, too, I will say that was a disadvantage for that offense is one of the most important things on the road, starting fast. Well, what happened to them? They started on their own 1-yard line. The first play, false start. The next play, we have 12 men on the field.
Well, wait a second. They start at the half-yard line.
Half-yard line. Right? That's what I said. Their own 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Then, apparently, his wristband paper, it fell out, all of those things. So you've got to start fast. And why is that tough, too? Because when you go into a game, I'm practicing all week my first 15. These are plays 1 through 15 that I'm going to run, and then we'll sprinkle in 3rd down, 4th down, 2nd and long, whatever it may be throughout the week. But I know the night before, I'm visualizing the first 15. The day of, I'm visualizing the first 15. Well, when you get backed up, that first 15 goes out the window. You got to go straight to, which I think fell out of his wristband, straight to that backed up section of your call sheet and start there. And those aren't plays that you practice all week. You practice backed up maybe one time throughout the week. So that's tough to start fast. But with all that being said, let's get to the film.
And it's Friday.
Huh?
You practice backed up on Friday.
For one series.
You get 2 plays.
You get 2 plays of backed up, and then we're going back to red zone goal line, right? Because you don't expect to be backed up like that a lot in the game. So to start like that, it's all a disadvantage. And again, I'm not just putting this on Shedeur. This is the entire offense as a whole. This is why they're in a bad situation. But looking at the tape and being honest, like I mentioned, there are some negatives, there are some positives. Let's start with some of the negatives. Obviously, we don't have time to go through the entire tape, but some of the interceptions. The first one, 100% on Shedeur. That is a bad throw. That's something to learn from, though. Those are learning, teachable moments. But what he does is they're going to motion over. He's going to do a great job of selling the fake, right? I like turning his back to the defense, extending the ball out, making those linebackers bite up, which they did. But the most important thing you have to do after you sell that fake is what? Get my head back around. I have to locate the defense as I'm putting my back foot in the ground. Check, check. He does all of that perfectly. But the next thing is you have to manipulate that free player with the throw. The linebacker was the free player. There's 2 things you can do when there's a linebacker in your vision. 1 is you throw it over them, or 2 is you throw it around them. You can't throw it over them because this is a line throw to Fannin, and you have Byard who's already driving on that. So what do? I hang a half second longer, and I throw it around him. That's something you learn from. Instead, Shedeur threw it right at him. It would have been behind Fannin as well. Still would have been a bang-bang play, but to me, great fake, eyes are in the right spot. Just finish the rep with a good throw. That's something you're going to learn from. You got to get that in practice. If I'm Tommy Rees, I'm writing that play down. We're going back. We're working on that. Now, I'll talk about the second interception in a second because I know that's the one that's there's some controversy about. The third interception, that's on Shedeur as well. This is another negative in this game.
This is C.J. Gardner-Johnson you're talking about.
It was a fucking excellent pick.
It is, but listen, why do I count this as a negative? Because what you have on this play is you have a levels concept. You have a V route, which is a deep clear out by the receiver. Then you have a high-low with Fannin, and you have Bates, one of their backup tight ends, running a high-low, a corner, and a flat. Normally, you're working that V if they just flash open. That's just a runoff. We call it a gump route. Run, force, run, clear everybody out, get the corner to turn and run out of there, which they do. But I'm high-lowing Gardner-Johnson. At the snap, he already tells you what he's going to do. He turns his back to Bates, bails out, and he's running away.
He lined up on the line of scrimmage.
He did. But Skip, as you hit the top of your drop, that's the guy that I'm focused on. I'll peek the V if it's there, but I'm focused on that flat zone defender. That's my only read. 1 to 2 to run, throw away. That is it. As soon as you see Gardner-Johnson bail out and run away, just take a profit. Take Bates in the flat, move on. Instead of a 20-yard gain, it's 5 or 10 yards. That's fine, but we're going to go back and we'll dial something up later on.
What was the score?
Yeah. It's 28-3.
Yeah. Come on, man. We don't want to profit at this point. We're trying to break the fucking bank.
It doesn't matter, though. In that moment, you got to think, Shedeur, yes, is trying to win the game, but he's also trying to win a job and show that he can do the simple things right. Because the 3 plays before that.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. The 3 plays.
Win the game. That's what's on his mind.
So take a profit. You can't try to force the corner out.
Taking a profit is what got Dylan Gabriel ass sat on the bench.
No,
all the profits in the world.
No, because I'm going to get to the positives in a second because he does a lot of things better than Dylan Gabriel, especially with his downfield action. There are positives in this game. I'm just saying the 3 plays before that. Check down to Judkins, got a gain. Took the underneath route to Fannin. You also got to realize, too, when it's 28-3, what's the defense doing? We're playing deep. Just take everything underneath and try to extend drives, which he did on the last drive, did a really good job of. Now, they didn't finish in the end zone, but when you're back against the wall, it's 28-3. I know you want to make the hero play, but sometimes you have to make the right play.
Well, I thought Gardner-Johnson just made a hell of a play.
It was a hell of a play.
He made a play that's why he's C.J. Gardner-Johnson, because Shedeur seen him bailing, like he can't get there. He threw it and shit. He burst and got there and picked it, bro. So it was a hell of a play.
But my point,
I'll point it.
Go ahead, Skip. Go ahead.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson isn't a U, but he's kind of in the ballpark of ball hawk because everywhere he has gone, good things have happened.
Hell yeah.
And good things are happening in Chicago because.
But my point is not.
Cody,
go ahead.
What Cody's talking about, we actually went over yesterday, is reading that corner's body language, which is what I'm saying. About going through your reads versus reading the defense. When the ball snap, he has to read that corner.
Yes.
And cover 3. When that corner hips open up
but we
inside,
understand that.
That corner is not there.
So the corner,
you take that guy
but
underneath.
The corner, it was there.
So he was at the edge of the line of scrimmage.
We could put 20 other safeties in that same spot. They're going to run it, not be able to get it.
Take that underneath. That tight end that release late, that's your throw right there.
Yeah.
That shit going to get you 4 yards in a shootout.
What's wrong with that, though?
Yeah.
Because it's 28-3. We don't need that.
But you can't lose sight.
Look,
okay, but now we just pressing.
Sometimes when you down 28-3, you got to press.
You still got to play football, though.
He pressed last week and made throws.
He did. But when they presented themselves, and he did it in this game, I'm going to talk about in a second. My whole point is what Jared's saying. I'm just going through the basics of the read. I don't care if it's Shedeur, if it's any quarterback, if it's a young guy in a teachable moment. I see that flat zone defender turn and bail, put his back to Bates, run out of there full speed like this. Just take a profit. He'll pick up 5 to 10 yards, move on, and then maybe we come back to it. And now he's seen that. I give a shoulder shimmy to the flat, and then I rip the corner. Let's just set him up for it.
the controversial one. All right.
Okay, to the other pick. Yeah. So that pick, to me, I thought that was a dime by Shedeur. I think that was a hell of a throw. Listen, you have Jerry Jeudy. He beats Johnson off the line, right? Gives him a little move. Yeah, does he get a yard to where everyone's saying, throw it over the top? No, it's not just tunnel vision. There's other players on the field. They have a too-high look, right? So you have Byard, who is a ball hawk.
He is.
He is outside 4 yards outside the hash. If you throw that with air and throw a 3-ball to the back pylon with Byard, who already has 5 to 6 yards of depth on him, the longer the ball's in the air, the more the DB can make up on the play. He's going to go pick that every single time. I don't care what you say. He threw a back shoulder. Jeudy, in my opinion, Johnson got his hand in there, but Jeudy, in my opinion, I would have liked to see him get a little more body control, extend his hands out, and pull it away. It's a back shoulder throw that we see the greats make all the time.
Hit him in the chest.
Hit him in the chest. It did him in the chest. For Judy's sake, I'd like to see him use his hands. I think he tried to do late hands and try to sell it instead of just extending his hands out and grabbing it. But again, hits you in the chest, you got to catch that, especially if you're wide receiver 1. So I don't put that on Shedeur at all. I thought that was a great throw.
Jalen Johnson made the Pro Bowl the last 2 years.
He's a good player. But when you're a DB, you know this. When my head's turned, that's open in the NFL. When I'm not looking at you, my eyes aren't to the quarterback, I'm going to throw you open. That was a perfect throw in my opinion. Right off his ear hole, right to that back shoulder, hit him in the chest. You got to make that catch. Now to the positives, because there were some positives. And again, I know everyone likes to look at the stats and the QBR and all of that and the interceptions. You can't. You got to watch the tape because there's some high-level throws on there that show you he has a high ceiling and he can be a legit starter in the NFL. The first one is that deep post to Isaiah Bond.
It was beautiful.
On 3rd and 10. The process skip is even more beautiful, though, because they walk 8 guys up to the line of scrimmage. It looks like it might be cover 0, but instead Byard's deep. He's at that one high look. All right, one high. It's either cover 3 zone blitz or it's cover 1. They're going to bail out. Well, instead, they go to a cover 2 man invert. Right, so they invert to the right side, meaning that corner's playing safety, and the safety is now playing that corner spot. You have Byard going outside, you have man outside, but where's my winner against cover 2 man? The slot to Bond, and who's covering him? What Shedeur recognizes, T.J. Edwards. That's a mismatch, as well as it being a too-high shell. I'm going to work the middle of the field. You remember how Coach Gruden was saying, right now, bang? That's that play. He went 1, 2, 3, hitch. I process. I know where it's at. Foot in the ground, ball. If he throws that a half second later, then that's going to get intercepted or knocked down by Byard. But he's great in his prep throughout the week. He understood what the play was. As a rookie, I'd be like, oh, shit, I'm checking to a cover 0. I'm getting out of this. But no, he understood what the defense was going to be. And then the other positive was also the other throw to Bond on that post. Looked like it was cover 1. We motion him over. Right goes with him, gets outside. Hey, in and out. You take out, I'll take in. Jalen Johnson's on the outside of him. Instead, at the snap, Shedeur recognizes instead of cover 1, it goes to cover 0. Both linebackers on the inside blitz. They're bringing 6. We only have 5, but you're bringing pressure from depth. So I know I can let that route develop. You get a basic post with outside leverage. That's a dot. He's getting hit in the chest, taking that hit, throwing it over the top, dropping it in the bucket. That is high-level stuff. And look, I'm not trying to sit here and preach the whole time about good, bad, all these different things, but I think it's important to not just look at the stats and look at a couple plays and listen to what people say who aren't breaking down the film saying, oh, he's not good, oh, he's good, all these different things. Reps matter, and the film matters, and there have been enough things for me through these last 4 games on film that tell me that he could potentially be a very, very talented quarterback in the NFL and be a legit starter. And this goes back to what we talked about a while. I don't know if I want that to be in Cleveland because that's what I worry about.
But you see positive things from him. Skip, how are you feeling?
I'm with you on one thing. I have a hard time placing any kind of letter grade on a situation that was wrong place, wrong time, wrong team, wrong supporting cast, because I'm going to say what I said on Friday on this show. Pro Football Focus, your favorite website, ranks Cleveland's receiving core dead last, 32nd in the league. And to your point, now you don't have Njoku, which I didn't even know about that on Friday. You're throwing to Isaiah Bond and Larvadan at your wideouts. They're undrafted rookies. You're forcing 14 targets to Harold Fannin Jr., who's a 3rd-round rookie, who's really good. I like him, but he's all you got. You're throwing him 14 balls against the most opportunistic secondary in football. They had 18 picks, now they have 21 picks. And they knew before you knew you're going to go to Harold Fannin Jr. You talked about the play that DeMarco Jackson made, the linebacker. It's to Fannin. Everything's to Fannin. It's all Shedeur's got. It's Fannin or bust. And they knew it, so he throws 14 balls to Harold Fannin Jr., and he catches 7 of them for 48 yards. And remember, the Browns defense had allowed 184 yards rushing to Tennessee in Cleveland. And so what did you think was going to happen with a Bears team that will run it down your throat? Well, they ran it for 142 yards to as Cody pointed out, 50 yards. It's just the supporting cast is wrong. And my conclusion, as I concluded in a video I posted last night, is it just feels wrong for Shedeur to be a Cleveland Brown. You were there. It's a hellhole for quarterbacks. I still don't like the organization. I still don't. The owner's like a Jerry Jones wannabe, another little bozo, and I just don't like the direction of it. Shedeur needs to get out. I just hope my New Year's wish for Shedeur is to get a fresh start with somebody who really wanted him. So that's...
Gerald, are you going to give an opposing view at all, or are you on the Shedeur train as well?
What do you mean Shedeur train?
Or you think all positive Shedeur?
Oh, no, I'm going to give him a letter grade.
All right, let's hear it.
He played.
Because kind of the chat right now is giving us a C and an F.
He failed.
They're not on the Shedeur train right now.
He failed. But you know what the problem with that is? It's just okay. I've been to take the name off the back of his jersey person since he got drafted. I'm not grading his name. I'm grading the player. I don't care where we feel like he should have got drafted. Oh, he should have been a first-round pick. He wasn't. He's a fifth-round pick. Stamp it. He's a fifth-round pick. He's a rookie. Stamp it. He's a quarterback. Stamp it. If his name was not Shedeur Sanders, all of our grading skills would be different. So I graded him based off the play. He's a fifth-round rookie. He failed against a defense who's been taking the ball away from everybody. They blitzed more than they blitzed all year. You know why? Because they knew he was a rookie. They took away his run game.
Well, they also knew these down 3 starters in the offensive line.
Even when they are starters they're 30th in PFF and pass.
Well, I got 32nd.
Yeah,
maybe they dropped. This was last year.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. So what? He had a bad day at the office. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
What is he going to do moving forward? That's what I'm concerned about. And you heard what he said. He make no excuses. He's just going to learn from it. The interceptions you talk about, he'll learn from it.
Yep.
The second one, the controversial one, Judy should have called it. DB made a good play. Moving on.
But sometimes when you're a fifth-round draft pick, you don't get a lot of time to work on it and learn from it.
I don't care about that. I'm grading the game yesterday, and what he can do from this is just learn from it, man. I know you feel like Tom Brady turned his back on him. He needs to go see him in the offseason. I'm going to tell you why. Because the thing with Shedeur is he's such a playmaker. You just got to learn how to adapt and adjust to how you want to make these plays. How do you do that? Like for me, for instance, I wasn't an overall great athlete. I wasn't super fast, wasn't super strong. But my mind put me in position to do what, like Keith said, if you get cover 4, the one thing I can't get beat on is the post. So when it looks like I'm making this amazing play, I am making an amazing play, but I knew beforehand that this is what I can't get beat. So I'm putting myself in position to do it. With Shedeur, understand who you are as an athlete, who you are as a player. So you can't always try and escape bailing out. You have to have more learn pocket feet, pocket presence, know where your escape lanes are. One of those blitzes, he was hot. The guy's coming, you got to know, okay, now I know I should be hot on this. Now I know that's something I can learn. Let me work with my receivers. Now I know to get the ball out after that. Where are my escape lanes? I need to learn to step up, slide, and then be able to make the throw. Forget the fact that he played bad yesterday. He's a fifth-round rookie. It's allowed, people. It's okay that Shedeur played bad. The problem is everybody put these unrealistic expectations on him, and then when he plays bad, now y'all are giving all the people who are looking for him to fail a foothold. Now they saying, see, we told you. No. Grade him based off where he got drafted. He should have been, he wasn't. He's a fifth-round pick. He's in his 4th game. He's allowed to struggle versus a defense that everybody's been struggling against. Now we look at how do you improve from this? What do you learn from this? And that's what I took from the game. If I'm giving him a letter grade, he failed. But it's okay. He's going to learn. Allow him grace to learn to play NFL football. I'm not looking at whether it's Cleveland or whether it's Baltimore or no, I'm grading the player. Give the kid some grace. He's in his 4th game. He's still learning. He will learn from all of the mistakes and all of the positives. But all that extra was this and no. So what? If he got an A, a B, a C, D, give him a grade. But what you do moving forward, I call it so what, now what? He played great last week. What happens moving forward? He played bad the next week. Okay, well, what happens moving forward? The great thing is he's been named the starter the rest of the year, correct? So he got more opportunities. Learn from this. It's a new game next week. Let's just keep moving forward.
I give him a C-.
Passing.
He ain't failed in my opinion because it's whether you're a 5th-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, an undrafted free agent, it's still all about the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to grade you on, did he have help? Did he not have help? How did we play as a team? that's going to dictate, you know what I'm saying, what kind of grades you get. So a C minus is like a 69.5, right, Skip? Like,
yeah.
Like I passed, but she ain't that good.
69 would still be a D.
That's a D.
70.
So what's a C?
70%.
Yeah, so I
70.
feel like a 69.9.
But you're rounding up. 69.5, you round up.
You round it up. Yeah, so that's why that's where the minus
you
comes.
graded on
So
the
a
curve.
70 is a C.
You grade on a curve. So
A 70 is a C though, right?
Yeah.
So if you give them a C minus, that means it had to been like a 69 high, and we
no.
round
No,
it
that
up.
means
70 is a
75
C
to
minus.
70.
You feel me?
A 75 is a C. A C plus would be
So a 70 is a C minus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting C minuses and shit. I've been getting straight C's. You feel me?
Leave.
But nah,
C's get degrees.
they get degrees, man, and they get the cheese. So I just say he ain't have a lot of help, man. He don't got the running game that Dylan Gabriel had. He don't even got the defense that Dylan Gabriel had. Like I want to see him play with that defense and that run game.
Yep.
Like I wish we could have got to see him
where's
with
that
those
defense
two.
right now?
I mean, it's football. You get late in the season, you trash. Guys start going out on Wednesdays
exactly
and Thursdays.
Right. Yep.
The diets change.
Yep.
Your fly-in routines change. Like
Yep.
guys just say, man, it's over with. So your routines change.
Yeah.
Guys on the defense, you get 3-4 guys on the defense that stop giving a fuck, and then they just
That
turn
is
trash.
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Same on the offense. O-line start
with
getting
you.
hurt. It's not the same. It's not the same run game. So with no help, if you got no help like that and you grade out a C minus, man, that ain't too fucking bad. You know what I'm saying? I think the first pick was all on Shedeur. He could have layered that throw a little bit, got it up and down over him. Shit, the second pick, I'll say that's a fucking top 10 play by DB, this year. You know what I'm saying? It's 20 safeties in the league who can't make that play. You start from the line of scrimmage and I'm gonna put it on the line. It's just not gonna go high pointed and make that play. They're not gonna have the acceleration to get to that spot and make that play. Shit, it's 25 corners who can't make that play from the line of scrimmage.
And if you had a true wide receiver one, they would have got that ball.
Well, the receiver did what the receiver do. It's the quarterback and the DB. So I felt like if he wouldn't have picked it, the ball would have been a good ball. It was on target. And then the third pick, shit, that should have been an extra 30 yards, got him up to 200 and a touchdown. So that hit you in your chest. You Judy.
Oh, that was the second one.
You Judy, the second one.
yeah.
You Judy. So,
Gotcha.
Oh, come on.
Come on, bro.
yeah.
If I put the ball on your chest, you catch that, get your feet in. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And
I'm not
make
sold on
double-digit millions.
And if he catches that, what, it's 21-10 now? And
Exactly. Then
who knows?
it
Maybe
might
it's
be a different ball game. So,
Be doing all that
so
on the sideline.
I don't know.
Not if you doing that.
He held the ball a little bit late in the games, trying to create, and got sacked from just, like you said, we pressing. Now I'm holding it just because I don't want to throw no check down. Shit, I'm trying to make a play.
Yeah.
And he getting sacked late in the game, so it is what it is. That'll drop your grade a little bit. So, man, hey.
Okay.
You missed, then he missed. He hit 2 throws, and then he missed one. You know what I'm saying?
Over to Judy?
Yeah.
Nah, to Bond, where Bond was running free. It dropped like right here.
Oh, yeah.
Air got it, the wind got it.
He just missed the throw. You know what I'm saying? That might have been a touchdown. So
Okay, one last positive point. Early on, blindside corner blitz comes unblocked.
Yeah.
And Shedeur, listen, he can move.
he sidestepped that shit so quick.
Yeah. That was nice.
He made him miss. And he can run it upfield. So,
That was third down, too.
He made a great, you talking about the third down, he ran for the first down? Yeah, it was great.
I will say, though, to Gerald's point, I thought he did a better job of stepping up. Now, when you talk about rush lanes, I think there are times he could take off and just slide, get a couple yards. I thought he did a better job of stepping up instead of bailing right away, which he struggled with in the first couple of starts. I thought he did a better job stepping up. To your point, though, holding the ball, is it him just trying to make a big play? Is it him?
All that shit came when it was.
Yeah, it was by the third. I think the third sack
quarter.
was the first time he got the first holding the ball a little too long, and then at the end of the game, 4th down. I'm not counting that last one. I don't care. It's 4th down.
I mean that's another
4th
one.
and goal.
We
you
just
got
holding. He trying to find somebody and drop 7
So,
guys.
maybe he could hit right now to that, but you don't even know if they get in, so I'm not counting that. But I do think his feet were better at stepping up in the pocket and not being too quick to bail out.
Yeah.
So obviously Cleveland, a tough situation for Shedeur. Where would you want Shedeur to go if there was a
I want him to stay right in Cleveland, man.
Okay.
You want him in Cleveland?
Get the staff right. I just I don't like running from problems. Like it's tough, right? Well, what the fuck we running for? Jackson State was tough. Colorado was tough. Change this shit around. That look better to me than going to a big dog organization.
So you say Cleveland,
I mean, they had a top draft class, a Shedeur draft class.
Where he got drafted.
It's one of the top draft classes. They got they're gonna have a high draft pick. You know what I'm saying? You could bring somebody in, get somebody who can cook that shit up, man. And the defense solid. At the beginning of the year, that defense gonna be ready to play. Man, I want him to change. Baker had him in the playoffs and winning playoff games.
Man, but what'd they do to Baker? He won a playoff game.
Well, I ain't talking about.
And then they kicked him.
Listen,
I gave up.
But they need a new staff.
Change that shit around,
Yeah.
man.
I'm just a huge huge proponent in where you got drafted. Changed life there. When I became a free agent, my free agency was coming up. I had every opportunity to leave Tampa. Every opportunity. I said, you know what? When I left Tampa, I had been there almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And our relationship just soured. But when I had a chance to leave Tampa, I said, forget this, man. They brought me here because this team and city is built on defense. The guy who changed everything was that guy in the middle. His name was Warren Sapp. They drafted me to be the next one. So I could have easily said, you know what, forget this, man. This ain't looking good, whatever. I think we had one win at that point when I re-signed with Tampa. This was 2014. I re-signed the middle season. I could have waited to free agency in the offseason and just said, forget this, I'm going to a contender.
They had just won a Super Bowl before you, right?
No, I got that. No, they didn't win this. They won Super Bowl in 2002.
Okay, but I mean, it's a good organization.
But what I'm saying is you don't run from your problems. Shedeur's one of those guys.
So you're out on Cleveland.
He's one of those guys.
We want him to go to a powerhouse.
You want him to just leave and then okay.
Well, he joined the
Raiders.
Okay, Skip. Which one is going to mean more?
What the fuck the Raiders
stay here at Cleveland. He stay here at Cleveland and change things around, or again, y'all giving people a chance to say, oh, well, he left and went here, but look at everything around him. He got this and this and this and this and this, and then he becomes Jalen Hurts. Exactly.
Where would you say?
How do you be here?
Well, what's wrong with that, though?
What's wrong becoming Jalen Hurts?
Because in my opinion,
what does everybody say about Jalen Hurts?
Quarterback.
What does everybody say about Jalen Hurts?
They say he the MVP.
He's a Super Bowl MVP.
They say
Top
Jalen
5
Hurts
QB
is the
in
top
conversation.
Who gives a shit what they say about him? He won a Super Bowl MVP and
but
he's
what
winning
I'm saying
games
is,
with a great supporting
which one
cast.
would mean more? If he stays in Cleveland and change life there, and he go through the tough times and he changed life in Cleveland, or if he just, that's not what he's built on.
I don't care about me anymore.
That's not how he's built.
I'm choosing option B then. I'm going to the team with a great supporting cast. I'm not saying that Shedeur can't turn it around.
He's been through this.
Yes, he has. He did it at Jackson State. He did it at Colorado. Oh, me.
So you're
but look, I'm not going to say that you're comparing different situations. I'm just saying the common denominator is being a quarterback in Cleveland. I don't think they do right by their quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Even when they had a good one in Baker Mayfield, he wins your first playoff game in 26 years. The next year they go 8-9. He plays through a shoulder injury. Trading your ass to Carolina. No thanks. Nope. Okay, we're done. I don't trust that they're going to do right by Shedeur. You can talk about being a D tackle and being a defensive system.
The head coach is going to be gone, right?
But listen, Gerald.
It better be.
You can talk about being a defensive tackle and a great system. You were a hell of a player. You had I'm not saying you had a great defense around you. You can still make big plays individually. As a quarterback, it is more important than any other position in all of professional sports that you are in the right situation, the right fit, the right offense, and the right guys around you to have a chance to succeed.
Do you think Stefanski going to be there at the end of the year?
I have no idea.
So where is he going to go? Like, what are we talking about? We don't talk about
everything y'all saying can be done. Everything y'all saying can be done.
But it hasn't been done. And maybe this is just scar tissue, Skip. Maybe this is just scar tissue.
It's only about 3 landing spots.
You get Stefanski out of there, so start with the coach, and then you just start building around him. If he's your guy, you just put pieces
It's easy, right? They've done it since 1999. It's so easy. Why they haven't figured it out in 26 years, Gerald?
And who's been the quarterback?
40-something guys, including my ass.
If y'all believe that this is the guy, then you just build around him.
I agree, but what gives you confidence after how they did Baker and how they've done other quarterbacks that they're going to give him time to develop and build around him and not go draft a guy in the first round next year or give Watson the starting job right when he comes back?
That's PTSD you talking about right now.
Fair, but it's realistic.
I'm talking about big picture.
Big picture, what's some ideal landing spots that you think is...
Before the season, I thought him being with Las Vegas. Yeah.
But what the fuck is the difference?
I agree. Now
they trash too.
And they're
like, what's the point of going there?
Why? Because
they've been trash long as Cleveland.
Who are you throwing to?
They had a one playoff appearance, just like Cleveland had one playoff appearance.
The same thing. You got one dominant defensive lineman.
What's the difference?
Literally the same thing.
Where else? Arizona.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Dolphins.
If whatever happens with Tua, keep an eye on Miami.
The Dolphins, we said the head coach should get fired. Now y'all want him to just go to Miami?
Well, they just won 4 straight games.
Yeah.
Right?
Man, come on, man. Richie, the same thing you said about Cleveland, Richie said about Miami. He said it's
Dumpster fire.
Exactly, but you want him to go there. Come on,
I mean, what have they done though? Like what
are we doing?
What have they done with their quarterbacks?
What are we doing?
Miami.
You have
what's so special about that?
What Mike McDaniel did with Tua was he made miracles.
Yeah.
He was a miracle worker.
Well, I'm talking about like winning. Like what have they won?
Well,
okay, what if Tyreek comes back fairly full speed?
He needs a receiver. Give him a solid receiver. Who knows?
You think realistically, Akeem, that they're going to do right by him? You think they're going to get the guys around him? You think they're going to give him a chance to succeed?
Man, it's the NFL, man. You know what I'm saying? The coaches do what the fuck the coaches do. If you one of them guys, I had 8 different head coaches, 8 different D coordinators, bro. I'm going to be lead wherever the fuck I go.
Yeah.
Simple as that, bro. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. We see what Shedeur is. Give him a good OC, put a healthy line in front of him, a good defense. He gonna show your ass, bro. It ain't all that other shit is for the birds.
Okay, but wait a second.
I don't doubt that he'll eat. I want him to have the chance to succeed and eat. That's what I'm saying.
Wait a second. You get to play with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and then you get to go play with Peyton Manning and John Elway, right?
Yeah, well, you talking about year 7, year 8.
Okay.
What about the Greg Schianos and all of those guys? I jumped off the porch with them too.
I was there.
I had to go through all that shit, Skip.
I went through it, Skip. I was there.
We don't know where Shedeur's going to land, but people want different things. Some people want him
wherever
in Cleveland.
I went, I was going to be me.
Okay.
No matter
I
what.
got that, but you got to be blessed with what you have around you.
So you
right?
want,
I ain't always had nothing
Cleveland
around me.
to say, you know what, that's it. Let's just release him and let him go somewhere.
I just look at this. Let me say this. Final thing I'll add. You see it happen all the time. You see, Sam Darnold was horrendous in New York. They brought him in to be the savior. It wasn't because Sam Darnold wasn't a good quarterback after everyone wrote him off and they gave him opportunities. It's because of the situation he wasn't in wasn't advantageous to him. Then he goes to Minnesota. What happens? He balls, wins 14 games, goes to the playoffs.
Yeah,
then he signs a $100 million contract.
He also had fucking 10 birthdays in between there, too. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but
you got better, bro. Like, you feel me? He also played 70-something games in between there, too.
You skipped over the fact he had competition with Baker and lost it.
He did.
Like, you skipped over all that. You skipped half his
like, bro, he got better. That's what happened.
When you get put in a better situation.
It ain't like he just went in Minnesota doors. Is everybody who come through these doors is just nice. Like, fuck no. Sam Darnold got better as a player. By the time he landed in Minnesota, he had a good team around him. He balled. So, I mean, hey, bro, it is what it is.
All right.
He ain't run from
Seattle.
All right, well, Skip wants him on the Dolphins. Let's talk about the Dolphins because they do have a game tonight, and it's going to be very, very